Hello, Bible scholars. Happy Friday and Merry Christmas. 6 days away. Welcome back to Oops, It's a Bible Channel. Oops, because nothing says, "For I am not afraid of the gospel," quite like that. I'm just your fellow student, Leah Nicole. And today we're going to do part 3 of my Big Picture Christmas series. The point of this series is to talk about the whole story of Jesus' birth, even outside of what people normally talk about during Christmas time. 2 weeks ago, I talked about all the prophecies about Jesus' birth in the Old Testament, and last week I talked about all the events leading up directly to Jesus' birth in the New Testament. So now we're going to talk about all the things that happened right after that, all the way until about probably 2 years after he was born. But first, get rid of this. Alright, so this video, like last video, I'm going to be telling this in more of a narrative style with the verses that I'm referencing, kind of summarizing over here. That way you can, obviously check for yourself. Just so you know I'm not making stuff up. Alright, let's go ahead and dive in because we've got some good stuff for today. Okay, so we left off right immediately after Jesus was born, and I ruined a couple of amazing Christmas songs. Sorry about that. Right after Jesus is born, we jump over to some shepherds taking care of sheep during the night. So this is one of the reasons that people don't think that it was necessarily in December when Jesus was born, because they would not have been outside with their sheep in December because it would have been way too cold for that. I think there's only a specific season whenever shepherds would go outside all night with their sheep. They're just chilling, peaceful night, whatever, when all of a sudden an angel appears to them. And this is when we see one of the most famous verses that you hear during Christmas. This one, right here. The angel brings an awesome proclamation of joy and hope and goodness, and it's just awesome. But he starts with "do not fear," because these guys are terrified, because all of a sudden there's someone talking to them like that wasn't there earlier, and it's just crazy. But then after the angel says this, a whole multitude of angels, like a ton of angels, show up, and they start singing. This is where we get the phrase, peace on earth and goodwill toward men. Then the shepherds go visit this place that the angel was talking about to go see this baby that they were talking about. So they go and visit Jesus, and they are just, amazed. They think that all this is so cool, which it is. And so they go run around all over everywhere telling everyone that the Messiah has been born, because they're just so excited. Whether or not people believe them, we don't really know. And around this time also, some people far away notice a weird star, and we'll get back to them a little bit later. See, 8 days after Jesus was born, he was circumcised, and I'm not sure exactly when, but Mary, Joseph, and Jesus all go to the temple for purification. And that's when they meet a man named Simeon, who was told by God that he wouldn't die until the Messiah was born, which is really cool. So Simeon meets Jesus and says, okay, I'm good now. I'm okay to die now. I highly encourage you to check that out right here. So we're going to jump ahead a couple of years. So the men earlier that I mentioned, the smart men or wise men, which you probably put 2 and 2 together at this point. But the wise men come and they meet up with the current king of the Jews named Herod, thinking that he had an heir that was just born or something like that. But that isn't what happened. So Herod is confused why they're saying a king has just been born. And obviously he doesn't like that very much because he's the king. So like, what? um, but after that, either Herod points them over to Bethlehem or they remember that it's in Bethlehem. But either way, they continue following the star until they get to Bethlehem. And Herod tells them before they leave that to tell him where this baby is so that he could go and also give gifts to this Messiah. So the wise men go and meet up with Mary, Joseph, and Jesus. This is about 2 years probably after he was born, somewhere around there. And they give him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, which I'm sure you've probably heard of all this because it's in the classic Christmas story. But some significant things about gold, frankincense, and myrrh is that they were pretty symbolic. Gold was obviously very expensive and was usually given to like kings and royalty, not the child of a carpenter and a poor teenager. And then frankincense and myrrh were both used for embalming for death, which is really crazy because if you know anything about the gospel, which I have a whole video about the gospel right here. If you know anything about the gospel, you know that is a huge part of it, like probably the biggest part of it. After the wise men give Jesus these gifts, they are warned through a dream not to go back the same way and not to meet up with Herod or tell him where Jesus is. After this, Joseph gets a dream that he needs to take him and his family and escape to Egypt because Herod is going to try to kill him. So Joseph obeys and takes his family and they escape to Egypt. And then Herod orders a decree where they kill all boys aged 2 years and under. Joseph brings his family back to Nazareth after King Herod dies. The next thing that we know happened to him happened when he was 12, which is when he went to the temple and Mary and Joseph left and Jesus was still at the temple and all that. If you like to read that story, it's right here. So yeah, that's the end of my 3-part Big Picture Christmas series. I hope you enjoyed this series because I'm going to do another series soon. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Remember, Christmas is all about Jesus, him being born, but not just about that because he, the reason that he came to earth was so that he could be a sacrifice for all of us. I already mentioned I have a video about it, but I can put it again right there, just for fun. This season, just focus on Jesus as the year is slowly coming to a close. Actually, not that slowly, but whatever. As the year comes to a close and we open up a new year. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more of this type of thing, I encourage you to go ahead and like this video. That way I know you liked it and so that I can know to do more videos kind of like it. Subscribe and go ahead and make sure that your notifications are on. That way you don't miss a video if I decide to post outside of my regular Fridays. If you have any questions or different Bible passage you want me to talk about, or if you have a different point to make that I didn't make in this video, go ahead and comment those. That way I can know either to answer your question or talk about the Bible passage, or that way other people can know the point that you have. If you know somebody who would benefit from this video, go ahead and share this with them so that they can see it as well. As always, God bless you all. I'll see you next Friday. Merry Christmas. Read your Bibles.